Hello and welcome back to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's Dumbest Moments of the Week. Let's start things off by talking about Alex's brand spanking new luxury apartment. Recently, Cortez threw a little hissy fit when reporters commented on her swanky and posh Washington, D.C. estate. Doesn't really seem like the freshman congresswoman practices what she preaches when it comes to politics and policy. This outspoken socialist wants to try and take away money from rich people in order to give it to the poor, like she's some kind of demented, modern-day, wannabe Robin Hood. But instead of using bows and arrows, Alex's weapons are taxes and wealth redistribution. Because what better way to encourage success and progress in the economy than to remove all incentives to do better and make more here? Why would businessmen and investors ever even try and innovate and compete if they know all their earnings are going to go away anyway? Doesn't really make a lick of sense to me. Regardless, let's take a look at the luxury apartment story from the New York Post called Ocasio-Cortez Rips Media for Reporting on Her New Luxury High-Rise. Check this out. Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez scolded the media outlets for reporting that she lives in a luxury high-rise building in Washington, D.C. around the time she and other high-profile Democrats appeared on a hit list compiled by a Maryland man arrested for allegedly planning a mass terror attack. Journalists are sharing stories about where I live the same day it's shared that myself and others were targeted by a mass shooter, the New York Democrat tweeted late Wednesday. All this paired with amplifying unvetted conspiracy theories. It's reckless, irresponsible, and puts people directly in danger. This isn't a game. Court documents show Coast Guard Lieutenant Christopher Hayson, who was arrested last Friday, drafted a list of politicians and media members whom he was targeting. Well, threats to politicians or anyone's life is, of course, wrong and appalling. No need to take this anywhere beyond verbal disagreements in private or public sectors. But let's talk about these supposed conspiracy theories for a second here, because I think that's a rather odd thing for someone like AOC to say, since, she's been pushing all kinds of crazy ideas and theories lately herself, particularly surrounding her Green New Deal. AOC says the world will end in 12 years because of cow farts. And that's just an example of what she thinks to get you started. And I have to say, a cow fart apocalypse sounds pretty conspiracy theory to me. But you go ahead and pretend we're the crazy ones for questioning you, Alex, a 29-year-old bartender turned politician who got less than 17,000 votes. But for some reason, she thinks she has some kind of mandate to change the lives of over 300 million Americans. What a joke. Next, let's talk about an embarrassing and condescending moment that came from AOC on Twitter this week. She's had a few high and mighty moments which we're going to get to, and it seems like that's a running theme with Alex over time. She's clearly a narcissist who thinks she's better than everyone based on nothing. I don't know why she thinks she's such hot shit really, but she clearly does. Maybe it's because she has a bunch of Twitter followers or something. I don't know. Twitter always seems to go to people's heads, like this, like young, shallow millennials like Alex Cortez. It's cute how they think followers on Twitter mean something, but they really don't. At least not most of the time. Sure, a true star or celebrity or politician can excel on Twitter and use it as an effective weapon in their arsenal, but when losers like AOC base their whole life and whole campaign and politics around Twitter, it gets really sad and weird and, quite frankly, off-putting. I've mentioned before how Cortez tweets day and night, like every hour of the day there's something up on her page. She's like a high school girl checking on her ex's Facebook incessantly. It's really creepy sometimes. Here's the tweet in question. It says, "Yep, if you don't like the Green New Deal, then come up with your own ambitious on-scale proposal to address the global climate crisis. Until then, we're in charge, and you're just shouting from the cheap seats." And this tweet was a response to another one encouraging people to address climate change another way. Otherwise, they must go with AOC's dumb plan for some reason. But really, we don't. This isn't an either-or situation. Just because Alex is fear-mongering us doesn't mean we should be bullied into passing her bullshit SJW Green New Deal. You see what they're doing here, right? They're saying first that we'll all be dead in 12 years, so we must pass this bill or else. If not, you can try and come up with something else to address this problem we created, the Democrats created. Otherwise, they're going to move forward with their crazy plan anyway. Also, AOC's wording here is again pompous and condescending, saying Americans are just shouting from the cheap seats like we're peasants compared to Alex or something, at least in her head. But please, Alex, you may have lots of shady Democratic money being thrown at you right now, and you dress in your $1,000 fancy dresses while at the same time bashing the wealthy. Ironically, well, you may have some nice things now, Lexi, but class is not one of them. Having money in a fancy apartment doesn't make you better than anyone. You're just some asshole with some cash in your pocket because you're a crooked Democrat. And as for being in charge, barely. Winning a small election in the Bronx that was overwhelmingly Democrat doesn't give you a mandate to change the whole country, though. Your enthusiasm is surely noted here, but you are hardly in charge of anything at all. There's like 400 in the House of Representatives. You're just one of many. And I think this is why people are comparing this line she said to a certain scene from the Batman movie, The Dark Knight. There's a good scene in there where one of the bad business guys working with the villain Bane starts to step out of line and think he's in charge. He even says he's in charge too, and that's when Bane promptly shows him otherwise. This image here pretty much sums it up. AOC being the guy in the left, the one who wants to and claims to be in charge, when he's really not. And perhaps in this analogy, Senator Dianne Feinstein could be the Bane on the right here, especially this week. As we went over in our previous video, Feinstein's a Democratic politician too, except she's got 30 years of experience compared to Alex Cortez. She's been in politics before she was born, and Feinstein has also won dozens of elections and millions of votes too. Not to mention, Senator Feinstein also shot down the Green New Deal in our last video, if you saw it. So I would say yeah, she's probably the one in charge of the villains here. I mean, she's the one in charge of the Democrats. Villains, Democrats, same difference. You get my point. Next, Alex manages to make herself look even worse in this video I found. Reporter Ryan Saavedra recently tweeted this clip of Alex from a public appearance at the New York Hall of Science. And funny enough, the professional and scientific atmosphere didn't prevent Cortez from talking trashy and sounding like a complete idiot who doesn't know what she's talking about. Some even say Alex resembled the Cash Me Outside girl from Dr. Phil. I believe Bad Baby is what she's known as now. And also, I have to say, the similarities between Cash Me Outside girl and AOC are quite striking. Go ahead and take a look for yourself.
So people are like, oh, it's unrealistic. Oh, it's vague. Oh, it doesn't address this little minute thing. And I'm like, you try. You do it.
Right.
Because you're not. Because you're not. So until you do it, I'm the boss.
That's
How about that?
You heard it here.
Wow, can't believe people are actually cheering on such childish behavior. And I can't believe Alex is saying she's the boss and she's in charge again. Damn, 2 months in office really went to this lady's head. What a goddamn joke Alex is. But wait, it gets even better when you see the comparison to the Cash Me Outside girl here.
Catch me outside, how about that?
Huh?
Catch me outside, how about that?
Catch you outside? What does that mean?
You do it.
Right.
Because you're not. Because you're not. So until you do it, I'm the boss.
That's
How about that?
You heard it here.
How about that?
How about that?
You heard it here.
Not a good look, Cortez. Damn, the Cash Me Outside chick is like the dumbest person of all time too. She can barely speak English and well, AOC sure gives her a run for her money in the dummy department. And I actually don't mind the Dr. Phil chick as much. Sure, she's stupid and obnoxious and a bad role model for teens, but she's also just a teen herself. And she's also not trying to ruin this country with socialist bullshit either. No, Bad Baby just makes YouTube videos and rap music now. Pretty harmless compared to AOC, who's trying to ban airplanes, cars, cows, and even capitalism. So, with that said, I'll listen to the Cash Me Outside chicks raps every day of the week, if it means I can keep all my paychecks. Otherwise what? I'm going to let Alex Cortez spend my money for me? No, thank you. I don't want to pay for free college and free doctors for everyone else. I want to keep my own money and spend it how I see fit, like by paying my bills and buying things for my family and friends. Next, we got another stupid tweet about AOC staff. It says, leadership starts with our choices. That's why I decided no one on my staff will make less than $52K a year. It's likely one of the highest entry-level salaries on the Hill. We pinch pennies elsewhere, but it's worth every dime to pay a living wage. Wow, how noble of you, Alex. You overpay the yes men you surround yourself with. Congrats. What, do you want a cookie for it? You want a medal? Oh, and also, by the way, you're not paying those staffers yourself at all. You're not running a business that's brought in so much profit you can afford to hire and provide for other people's families. Not even close. No, Alex got elected in an easy and small and overly democratic election, and now she's paying her staff with our tax dollars. We're the ones paying your staffers, Alex, not you. You're just the gatekeeper who only lets in certain people, probably based on their politics and skin colors, I'm sure. She is an intersectional feminist or some shit. Finally, let's take a look at another dumb video from Alex before we go. This time she is once again strawmanning the hell out of her opposition, pretending all Americans eat cheeseburgers 3 times a day. Bullshit. Check this out.
My Twitter mentions, I'm getting a lot of references about cow farts. And I think that's a reference to your Green New Deal.
Yes.
Can you explain that for us?
Yes.
In the deal, what we talk about is, I mean, and it's true, is that we need to take a look at factory farming, you know, period.
Great, another major American industry AOC wants to tear apart and rebuild from the ground up. Don't know why she thinks she has this kind of experience in business or environmental planning, but for some reason, AOC thinks she does. She's just the right mix of dumb and confident, I suppose. And that's what makes her resulting actions and plans that much more stupid. It's like stupid squared.
It's wild.
Yeah.
And so it's not to say you get rid of agriculture. It's not to say we're going to force everybody to go vegan or anything crazy like that. But it's to say, listen, we got to address factory farming. Maybe we shouldn't be eating a hamburger for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, let's keep it real.
Slow down.
Yeah, I mean,
In my 30 plus years of life, I don't think I've ever met anyone who's done that though. And I know some big healthy Americans here too. My family could eat most under the table, but even so, a burger for breakfast, lunch, and dinner is pretty ridiculous. Even the fattest of fatties would say, hey, I need to change it up by the third burger meal. This to me shows what Alex thinks of common Americans. She thinks we're gross. We're fatties who eat burgers all the time to her. And it shows how arrogant she is and how much she thinks she's better than everyone once again too. In the end, AOC never ceases to amaze us with her stupidity. And I think over time we can see pretty obvious trends. Alex is clearly full of herself, and she thinks she's better than everyone too. All based off of, again, winning an easy and small election that really doesn't warrant such an attitude like this. I guess Twitter follower numbers are good props for the kids out there these days too, but I hate to break it to you again, Alex, but Twitter followers really don't mean shit. What do you guys think? Is it hypocritical for Alex to live in a luxury apartment at night while attacking and bashing the rich by day? Do you think her cheap seats comment reveals that she thinks of us as peasants compared to her? And do you see the similarities between AOC and the Cash Me Outside girl? Comment your thoughts on everything below, and thanks for watching No Bullshit. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and we'll see y'all next time.